Boom. Okay, it's just starting, really. This is how it began. E4, E5. We have the two knights defense, and apparently some pawn sack right out of the gates, huh? Huh. Well, I have never seen this one before. Actually, this Queen E2 line. What is the big story with Queen E2? So White will be getting, I guess, this pawn back after D3. E5 would be hit twice. But I don't know that White could really claim any advantage because of what? The material has been restored. This, if anything, Black has a slight space advantage just doing a comparison between these pawns. C3 solidifies the center, and really, I think this structure, in my mind, I view this structure as canceling out both minor pieces. They're out of play in my mind. For as long as Black maintains this structure. So my attention now turns really to how to get these pieces working, and it's not so easy to do just that. Queen is being hit, and I guess Black would like to just challenge this bishop, but this is available. The bishop is watching over the knight. Okay, so challenging it in this direction. Not a bad idea to challenge this bishop. I thought maybe on d6 would be better. But trying to eliminate the most active of these three minor pieces, I think is a good idea. I don't even know that you could even eliminate one of these two, but why would you? They're out of play. Okay, queen stepping up. The e-file is the only thing that's opened. White has a lead in development, but that's about it. And it's something that can easily fizzle out after just a couple moves. Like, how about queen f6? Queen f6 would offer a queen trade. And of course, I'm looking at that as a candidate move. Those of you that know me here with the queen trade. So, okay, White avoids this, and Black is insisting on the deadly queen trade. And it's going to happen. If Black really wants it, it's happening. And it is going to happen. So now, okay, capturing away from the center unless you... Capture towards the center unless you have a good reason not to. Well, this square is now weakened since there is the capture away from the center. The knight could jump in here, but I don't know that the knight would then pass the two-word test, which is now what? I don't think it has a good answer to now what. It jumps in there, the rook just does a counterattacking move. I guess there are situations where this pawn could support a knight on e3, but that seems just a bit far off. We could have an imbalance, a knight for bishop exchange. A3 is an I'm not so sure. That's an I'm not so sure what that move is doing type of move. Okay, I guess it's to back the bishop up and get this pawn working to break down this structure. That's the only thing that's really jumping to mind. H3 is a good move to go forward with. Flight square for the king, but you know what? To be honest, this isn't really a good flight square to be going forward with. I see it, if anything, the king should be making use of f2 towards the center. We are in an endgame. I guess g4, expand with that doubled pawn so that this pawn maybe has the potential to move, but really to look forward to kicking away this knight, and it's really running out of squares. In fact, g4 would be threatening to kick this knight away. Okay, good move. King f2. How does Black proceed? I guess just exchange rooks. This guy is still out of play. So before, when the knight was on c3, okay, he was out of play, but he's certainly much more active. Black might be the side that's looking to kick the knight away. Apparently we're going to be having b4. I don't know that the bishop has a great thing to do on this diagonal. There needs to have a lot of pawns cleared for it to see along here, and I'm not even sure what it would be doing along this diagonal. So I guess knight d4 to f3, or how about this? Looking for a support point in Black's territory, such as f5. And that could start out with g4, knight g3. All the more appealing, actually. A knight on g3 and a pawn on g4 is threatening both of these squares, both of which would come with check against that king. So now, with this last move, two things actually. It attacks the knight and it actually helps white out in some way, because now this knight is all of a sudden constrained to the defense of a pawn. So one of these pieces, it has to stick around to watch over d5. So this is maybe a bit inaccurate. I think black is actually helping white out. Even though that move came with tempo and it is in some sense gaining some space, it is bringing this bishop to life all of a sudden. I believe with bishop c6, black will be looking to just push, so it has a clear view along this corner-to-corner diagonal. And what is to come of these rooks? They've, for quite some time, already remained in tension with one another. Many times what you could see with just one open file, both sets of rooks coming off the board, and we could have that right away. Okay, it's an interesting move. If takes, the knight is recapturing on a central square. Oh man, balanced material. We've seen that pretty much since the beginning. A knight for bishop exchange, followed up with bishop to a4, picks up a pawn. This is a good thing to go forward with. Knight takes bishop, bishop a4, bishop versus knight situation. The bishop, white would be better, not only for the bishop, but just the material. Plus, I believe that this is still an available move. Taking bishop a4, the knight would have to go home to defend. In the meantime, the knight's getting kicked around and eyeing f5, which is a very weakened point. He's going to be able to camp out here for a little bit, and this pawn is coming under fire. If it pushes, takes, it could be challenged with knight f5, knight c2, and it'll go down. Crunch time here, 42 seconds for black to figure things out. Okay, d3 is hit. Just calmly come over here. Actually, king e2, d4, kicks the knight away from the defensive g2, and if g2 follows, h3 is not long off, and that's exactly what we have. I believe takes right away, so I think after the smoke clears, black is the side that's now going to be up a pawn. White will get the pawn on d, will have a passed d pawn, but black will have the more powerful passed h pawn, or will they? Or will they, man? Black just juked me right there and is instead going after d3. Picking up g2 and then h3 would mean that this h pawn, you could pretty much regard it as just a passed pawn. These two, it would be what, a g and h, g5, h5 versus g3. In my mind, that is a passed h pawn in just a quick blink, but now we have a dead bishop. Is white going to see this? No! Oh man, well that happens. This is blitz, isn't it? Oh man, I thought that's why the knight went there, and that's why he got a little chuckle out of me. I did a little chuckle. Okay, let's see how this game finishes up. I don't know what to expect. Oh, okay. I do know what to expect. King e4, king position. Alright, king right here. He's a fighter. White is up on time and material. The king is a beast. He's a beast, and black is getting stripped of every pawn, it seems. The king is a monster. There goes the a pawn. Here comes a check. You name it. White is good for all the good reasons right here. Material plus, king position, bishop versus knight, material. Sad day for black right now. Less than 10 seconds as well. This one's what you call GG. Knight goes here, Pinaruski, chop him up. Pass pawns or fast pawns. TKOs, less than 6 seconds. We know how this finishes, don't we? Or do we? King right here, mate in 3, mate in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good technique. Let these pawns keep going. Okay, time situation. Good game. Those guys left. They didn't get to see the GG. That was a cool game. It was very balanced for quite some time in that one.